What's up everyone? I have a 5 snake victory for today, and honestly it wasn't that difficult to pull off just because it's customs, and if you've seen my videos this week you already know what kind of method I'm using to get this 5 of a kind suite. If you don't, I'm going to be shop scaling. Just expect that from now I'm going to be using alpaca, I'm going to be using chicken, lioness even if it shows up. Otherwise I don't think it's easily achievable to get the 5 of a kind snake. It has been completed in turtle pack but by Grounded, but he was also using shop scaling, which is quite a bit more impressive than shop scaling in customs, because there you can only shop scale with cans. But yeah, if you're going to be getting 5 snakes, most of the time the way to do it is going to be through using shop scaling. And you can see that I'm preparing from the late game. Starting from now I'm getting goldfish to reduce the price of the units in the shop. If I manage to get it to level 3 by the late game, it's going to be very nice. I also have the weasel for the extra 1 gold. Thankfully I had 2 opossums on the team, so it's a 5-6. It's not going to be useless in battle, and I feel comfortable putting it in the first position. If you are running a weasel, you usually want to put it in the first or second position so that you can guarantee that it faints during the battle, because obviously if it doesn't faint you're not getting the gold. Apparently I didn't have to worry about that because I'm so weak that I get defeated on turn 4. Kind of unwise of a decision that I choose to take the manta ray and keep 4 squad, because now I'm even weaker than I was last turn. Positioning wise I think it's okay. I think currently I would have put the flamingo at the front. But I think I was worried that the weasel wouldn't faint otherwise. You can see obviously that it isn't a problem. I keep losing, and that's what you don't want to have happen when you're trying to shop scale, because in the late game when you're trying to get the shop scaled up, you're usually not going to get it to 50-50 in one turn. And that means you'll probably be vulnerable for 1 turn until you get it fully scaled up, which means that you typically lose a life. This this means that usually you want at least 2 hearts. I'm going to say that from now I'm not going to be getting 2 hearts, sadly. Kind of an irresponsible play on my part, but I love gold so much that you can't really judge me. And here I'm trying to pivot to to some sensible team. I see a husky, so I decide to take it, even ditch the manta ray. I regretted my decision of picking it up. The 4 gold that it provided wasn't really that useful. But I think this team should be good enough to at least draw now, supposedly at least. But what ends up happening is that I end up going up against 14-29 Swan with a shrimp and a starfish, so they've been by cell scaling, and that means that it's turn 8 and I only have 1 life. At this point it's very difficult for any run to pivot to to a 5 of a kind, especially if you're going to be shop scaling in the process, being very weak with the chicken on the team. I was kind of worried about the strength of the team, so I even bought a banana on the blobfish. I don't think it was necessary, we'll see. Yeah, I think the goldfish would have cleaned up those sands anyway. The monkey wasn't that useful, but it's always nice to have, and when I eventually peel the blobfish I'll have a monkey which I can decide to either keep or even sell for the extra 1 gold. Sadly I don't get a useful unit from the first level up of the turn. The second level up provides me with a hammerhead shark, which It will be useful if I manage to find a level 3 unit that I can get. Thankfully I get one, but I don't have enough gold to get the hammerhead shark on the team. It will have to come in next turn. So for now I'm just praying that I survive. The scaling of this team is actually pretty decent. A level 2 husky and a level 1 monkey. Barely able to get a win here, I believe. Yeah, by 3 HP. Very lucky with the trades that I had. So now I'm going to transition away from the monkey, I believe, and get another hammerhead shark, which is very lucky. I actually decide to pivot away from the weasel, which is kind of interesting because the goat would obviously be useful, but here I go selling the monkey. So in the end I wanted both the lioness and the hammerhead shark, which I think is very logical. Husky scales up the current team while Lioness scales up the shop, so we have those both things scaling in parallel. Kind of lucky that I faced this junk team with the big tiger up front. Ended up being a draw, which you could argue that I didn't deserve. But yeah, I'm trying to set up for a nice end game here, which first step of doing that is obviously having to find the alpaca, which I think is going to show up after this level up. With the hammerhead shark at level 2, it's very nice that I'm also going to be getting 2 gold, not 2 gold, 6 gold, because it's level 2. And I'm running out of time basically. Thankfully, because I'm at such low trophies and lives, I get matched up with such funny teams. It's kind of crazy that it's still almost a draw. I barely win. If they had one more level 2 hedgehog, they would have drawn me. So yeah, this is very scary. I'm on a clock. From my experience, starting from 13, teams in customs become crazy. So I'm just trying to set up for a nice play next turn. I get the level 3 hammerhead shark, I got the level 2 oyster, so I had some extra gold to play with during that turn. And what I'm going to do for the rest of the turn is just buy as much equipment as possible so I can hopefully survive. Maybe free some tier 1s along the way. I got very lucky by finding so many marmosets. Marmosets are probably the best units that you can find, the best tier 1 units, because they provide you with free rolls. I guess pigs are on the same level, and chinchillas, but with chinchillas it's a little bit iffy because you need to shop spaces freed up in order to get both of the spawns of the chinchilla. Anyway, that doesn't really matter. What matters is this upcoming turn, which I think is going to go very well for me. If I'm not mistaken, the shop is going to get to 50-50 in one turn, and you'll see how I do that. I give up on the goldfish because I don't think I'll need it anymore. It discounted units enough. And now that I have 2 level 2 chickens, means that every tier 1 that I buy is going to provide +4/+4 to the shop. Thankfully I had 4 of them lined up, and a lot of them were very good ones. I think all of them actually. 3 marmosets and chinchilla. So basically all of them I buy for 3 gold, and they provide 2 gold of value on the sale. So yeah, I'm getting very lucky with the rolls as well. You can see I'm getting 1 or 2 tier 1s per roll, which I think the average is 1. You're supposed to get only 1 tier 1 unit each roll, statistically at least. I was contemplating here what I want to do, because I want to take this chicken just for the stats, so I'm not too weak. I decided to combine it with an already existing chicken. Now it's the strongest unit on my team. And now it's not, because I'm going to buy the marmoset. And I think I'm basically done with shop scaling, so I don't need any more chickens. Like the weasel is at 4950 and my plan was to get 5 snakes, so the snakes being a 6/6 unit, which that is way higher than the weasel, means that the snakes that I find are going to be 50/50. And thankfully I end up finding 2 snakes. I was thinking for a second if I should buy the opossum for some more shop scaling, but I don't think that's necessary. Kind of a misplay on my part because I forgot that the hammerhead shark couldn't trigger its ability at the start of the turn, because the only level 3 unit that I have on the team was the hammerhead shark itself. But yeah, what's left to do now is to find as many snakes as I can, get most of them to level 3 if I can, and buy some good equipment. Thankfully, because the run was so bad at the beginning, I have many trophies to go, so I have all the time in the world to equip all my snakes and find as many of them. The hammerhead shark isn't going to trigger its ability once again, which is kind of sad, but I think it's going to be sold on this turn if I find the snake. Kind of unlucky with my rolls. But in the end I do manage to find the snake, and because the alpaca is on the team still, it's going to get leveled up instantly to level 2. And for turn 15, believe it or not, this team is amongst the stronger ones, but it's not the strongest one, and my opposing team is very scary. Thankfully, because I'm a team comprised of all snipers, it's not that big of a deal, but I think a usual 50-50 team would get destroyed there by the turkey and the German shepherd. So yeah, I don't know what to say anymore. This is basically the game plan. Find one more snake, give it some equipment. If I were to find 2 more snakes, I don't think it's wise for me to combine my pre-existing snakes together in order to squeeze out some extra value from the alpaca. I think I got a comment one time where they suggested that I do that. I combine the snakes on the team so that I get a level 3 and I can use one of the triggers of the alpaca to get a level 2 snake right from the shop. That wouldn't be correct in my opinion, because if you were to do that, you're losing one of the equipments. Like if I combine a snake with pepper with a snake with melon, the snake with pepper obviously goes away. So yeah, what I decide to do is to keep the equipment, and hopefully, if I'm lucky, which I end up being quite lucky, for the last turn I'll have a level 3 snake, at least one of them, which is more than good enough honestly, because the snake's ability is not like the cobra's where it scales off its own attack, so 15 is the ceiling, which isn't very high for the late game, but it's still a nice thing to have, and it's the only way I can upgrade the team at this point. So yeah, this is going to be it. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, like, sub, do the generic stuff, leave a nice comment, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care.